Greetings and welcome to my podcast. I'm Dr. Andrea Walker, family nurse practitioner. As the year quickly comes to a close, I want to share some valuable tips for achieving weight loss success while using GLP-1 medications to include Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide, Mounjaro, Zepbound, and tirzepatide. In this episode, I'll cover effective strategies for measuring your progress beyond just the number on the scale, as well as common pitfalls to avoid that could hinder your journey. Consider this an end of the year guide to staying on track and maximizing your results with GLP-1 meds. So, let's get started with today's episode. Tracking success while on GLP-1 medications and focusing on weight loss requires a holistic approach involving both physical and mental progress. Here are some ways to measure success and additional tips to help achieve weight loss goals. Let's start with ways to measure success while taking GLP-1 medications. Weekly weigh-ins. Track your weight consistently, ideally at the same time each week. Look for trends rather than focusing on daily fluctuations. Use a tape measure to measure and record changes in waist, hips, thighs, and arms once a week. Consider using a body fat scale or getting body composition analysis done periodically to see changes in fat versus muscle mass. I will be honest, many of the options are not the most accurate, but what we're looking for are trends. So, for instance, if you purchase a scale and it measures your body fat and you started at 40%, and a few months later it's now down to 35%, that's a win. You're making progress. The key is to use the same machine scale or whatever way of measuring you choose on a consistent basis with the same way of measuring. Sometimes I get patients come into the clinic and they'll say, well, I weighed such and such on my scale, but I weighed such and such on your scale. I always tell them, make sure you go off of it's the amount of weight that was lost on your scale versus the amount of weight that was lost on my scale. Should be the same. It honestly doesn't matter if, for instance, your scale weighs you at 200 pounds and my scale weighs you at 203. What the key to your success of seeing if this is actually working is going to be to make sure that the difference in the weight loss should be the same on my scale and your scale. And there are so many other factors. So that's why I say make sure you're using the same way of measuring to see your actual progress. And then you should take regular photos to visually track progress over time. I recommend taking a front view, side view, and back view in shorts only for men and a two-piece bikini or sports bra and shorts for women. Remember, the pics are for you and you only, so it really doesn't matter what you wear. But in this case, less is better because it will reveal just how much progress you have made. Next is overall health improvements. You should have blood work completed as directed by your healthcare provider. Your provider can monitor changes in blood glucose, cholesterol, triglycerides, A1Cs, and other key markers. GLP-1 medications can improve metabolic markers, which is a win. And then blood pressure checks. Keep track of your blood pressure if you have had high blood pressure before starting GLP-1 meds. You will more than likely start to see improvements in your blood pressure. I have even had patients to decrease the number of blood pressure pills they were taking once they started taking GLP-1 meds. Of course, don't make these changes without your healthcare provider telling you to stop taking such and such medication. And then A1C levels. If you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, you can have your A1C levels checked every 90 days to see how much your blood sugar has improved. And then energy levels. Take note of any increase in energy or changes in your stamina and endurance over time due to weight loss. Next is behavioral changes such as hunger and cravings. You want to track changes in your appetite and cravings. GLP-1 medications can reduce hunger, so pay attention to when cravings decrease or become easier to manage. And then portion control. Notice improvement in portion sizes and mindful eating habits. It's a good idea to keep a food diary or use an app to monitor food intake. And then consistency in health habits. Track how consistently you stick to healthy eating, exercise routines, and other positive habits. And then things like emotional and mental well being. This is one of the main reasons I got into helping others with weight loss. I wanted people to feel better mentally about themselves and have confidence in their appearance. So, mood tracking. Keep a journal to assess how you feel mentally and emotionally throughout the process. Improved mood and decreased stress can be signs of progress. And then body image and confidence. Take note of any positive changes in your perception of yourself and body image as you progress. So, the scale may not always move as quickly as we want it to. It may even stay the same for weeks and weeks and weeks. But all these statements that I just mentioned are other ways to see positive progress, even if the scale isn't moving. So, keep all of these in mind. Now, with Thanksgiving being this week, and we are embarking upon holiday festivities throughout the remainder of the year, I want to reiterate general tips for weight loss while on GLP-1 medications. Follow a balanced diet. Prioritize high protein foods to help maintain muscle mass while losing fat. And protein provides satiety. You will feel fuller for longer and quicker. Don't forget to include your fiber-rich foods like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes to promote fullness as well. And then eat your healthy fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil, which can aid in satiety. Make sure to reduce refined carbs and sugars, which can hinder weight loss efforts. And especially this week, I want you to remember to practice mindful eating. Eat slowly and pay attention to hunger cues. Stop eating when you're comfortably full, not stuffed. You can use smaller plates and bowls to help control portion sizes. And then stay consistent with exercise. Aim for a mix of cardiovascular exercises, walking, jogging, cycling, and strength training, which would be weights, resistant bands, etc., to support weight loss and muscle maintenance. And then I want you to still continue to monitor your progress throughout the remainder of this year. Keep a weight loss journal or use an app to track food intake. Even if you're not eating the right foods and it's not healthy, it's still a good idea to track your food intake. Also, track your water consumption, exercise, and other key habits. You can use an accountability partner, a coach, or support group to help stay motivated. There are many groups on social media that provide support. Just be careful not to take bad advice there. And then prioritize sleep and manage stress. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night, as sleep is essential for metabolism and weight regulation. And then practice stress management techniques like deep breathing, meditation, yoga, or walking outside. Limit your stress eating by finding non-food ways to cope with emotions like engaging in hobbies, connecting with friends, or practice relaxation techniques. And then stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water throughout the day to support digestion, reduce cravings, and help with portion control. And of course, throughout the holidays, you may plateau. So prepare for plateaus. Expect some plateaus during your weight loss journey, especially throughout the holidays. Focus on non-scale victories, like how you feel or changes in clothing fit to stay motivated, or some of those that I mentioned earlier. By combining a focus of measurable progress, healthy habits, and consistent support, you can maximize the effectiveness of GLP-1 medications and achieve long-term weight loss success even throughout the holiday season. Now, let's move on. Let's discuss another weight loss tip, super important, meal prepping and hydration. Meal prepping and staying hydrated with electrolyte replacements can significantly support weight loss while on GLP-1 medications. Here are some tailored tips for meal prepping and using electrolyte replacements effectively to maximize your success. Let's start with meal prepping. Focus on high protein, high fiber meals. Protein is crucial for maintaining muscle mass during weight loss. Plan meals that include lean protein like chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, tofu, Greek yogurt, or legumes. And then those high fiber rich foods like leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli or cauliflower, berries, beans, quinoa, and whole grain. Fiber helps with satiety, keeping you fuller longer. And then plan balanced meals. Aim for 40% lean protein, 30% healthy carbs or non starchy vegetables, which would be things like spinach, zucchini, broccoli, etc. And then you should eat 30% healthy fats. That would be your things like avocado, nuts, olive oil. Next, you want to remember portion control and pre-measure your foods. Use portion-sized containers to avoid overeating and stay in control of your calorie intake. Everyone who's trying to lose weight should own a weight scale and measuring cups and measuring spoons. You want to pre-measure ingredients. Honestly, I measure everything, but especially things like your nuts, seeds, and dressings. Because when you start just eating a handful of nuts or you just start pouring the dressing on, you're adding up a lot of calories that you don't need. It's best to create ready-to-go snacks like pre-cut veggies with hummus or portioned nuts. Remember to measure and weigh because you don't want to have impulsive snacking. And then batch cook for efficiency. It's great to have a couple of days throughout the week to meal prep. You should cook larger portions of protein like grilled chicken or baked salmon, whole grains like quinoa or brown rice, and vegetables that can be mixed and matched throughout the week. Choose recipes that can be easily reheated or eaten cold. Choose simple, low-calorie sauces and seasonings, and then flavor meals with herbs, spices, lemon, lime, garlic, and vinegar instead of calorie-dense sauces. This keeps your meals tasty without adding unnecessary calories. And then opt for low-calorie or sugar-free dressings and marinades. Make sure to schedule time for meal preps. So, you want to choose 1 or 2 or 3 days a week to prep meals in batches. However, before prepping these meals, you want to create a grocery list to ensure you have all ingredients and avoid buying processed or tempting foods that aren't part of the plan. If it's not in your home, then you can't eat it. And then just keep your meal prepping simple. Choose a few core recipes you enjoy to avoid boredom. I feel like I'm one of those lucky people that I don't mind eating the same things over and over for a while. It makes meal prepping so much easier. On Sundays, I typically will cook quite a few servings of either grilled chicken or shrimp or some type of white fish. And then I cook mini servings of broccoli. And I personally like to buy the brown cups that are pre-measured where I can just pop them in the microwave for 1 minute. I also will cook ground turkey. So my meals can be any of those meats with some rice and then some broccoli. And of course, I eat other things throughout the day, but I was just wanting you to know why it's good to batch prep. And then you can just kind of alternate your food throughout the week. But now, let's move on to electrolyte replacement tips for success on GLP-1 meds. So, why does electrolytes matter? GLP-1 medications can lead to mild dehydration or even moderate dehydration due to a reduction in appetite and possible changes in food and fluid intake. Electrolytes like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium are crucial for hydration, muscle function, and energy. They help regulate fluid balance and support workouts. So, you want to choose low sugar electrolyte replacements. Opt for sugar free or low sugar electrolyte drinks to avoid unnecessary calories. You can drink your electrolytes before and after workouts, especially if you're sweating. This helps with recovery and prevents dehydration. But also consider sipping on an electrolyte drink if you feel fatigued, lightheaded, or if it's hot outside. You should start your day with a glass of water and or a small dose of an electrolyte supplement to kickstart hydration. You want to stay consistent with hydration, regardless if you're using electrolytes or not. Aim to drink water throughout the day. Consider carrying a water bottle with you as a reminder. You can use a hydration tracking app or mark your bottle with time goals to keep yourself accountable. If plain water gets boring, you can infuse it with fruits like berries, cucumber, or mint. It's also okay to add various water enhancers to your water, but keep in mind the water enhancers do not necessarily provide additional electrolytes, which is fine if you are just looking for ways to drink enough water throughout the day. But one of my favorite electrolyte is Pedialyte. I drink these the day of my bodybuilding shows and for about a week after my show to help correct my electrolytes. Pedialyte can be an effective and convenient electrolyte replacement, especially for those on GLP-1 medications. So, here's how to use it for hydration and weight loss success. Pedialyte contains an optimal balance of sodium, potassium, and other electrolytes that aid in quick hydration. It is specifically formulated to replenish lost fluids and electrolytes efficiently, making it a suitable choice for preventing dehydration, which can happen while taking GLP-1 medications. You want to look for low sugar content compared to sports drinks. Pedialyte generally has less sugar than typical sport drinks, which can be beneficial for weight loss. Look for sugar or sugar-free Pedialyte options, which still provide essential electrolytes without adding unnecessary calories. Pedialyte is also gentle on the stomach. It is designed to be gentle on the digestive system, which can be especially helpful if you experience nausea, a possible side effect when taking GLP-1 medications. It can be a good choice for maintaining hydration if you're not feeling up to eating larger meals. So, here are some tips for using Pedialyte while on GLP-1 meds. Use as needed for dehydration. Keep Pedialyte on hand for days when you feel dehydrated, fatigued, or lightheaded. These are common signs that you might need an electrolyte boost. It's particularly useful after intense workouts, hot weather, or if you've experienced symptoms like diarrhea or vomiting that can lead to electrolyte loss. You want to choose the right Pedialyte product. Pedialyte offers various options, including Classic, Pedialyte, Pedialyte Advanced Care, Pedialyte Sport, and Pedialyte Powder Packs for easy on-the-go use. If you're aiming to minimize sugar intake, which you should be, consider the Pedialyte electrolyte solution with zero sugar or the Pedialyte Powder Packs zero sugar versions. And then portion control to manage calorie intake. You want to measure servings carefully to avoid consuming excess calories. A typical serving of Pedialyte is 12 ounces, about 1.5 cups. So avoid drinking the whole bottle unless you need a full dose. You can consider diluting Pedialyte with water if you find the taste too sweet, or if you only need a mild electrolyte boost. And then you want to drink your Pedialyte first thing in the morning if you often wake up feeling dehydrated, as this can kickstart hydration for the day. And of course, as mentioned, you can drink it before workouts or after workouts. And then you can sip it throughout the day if you experience mild dehydration, but aim to maintain a balance with plain water to stay properly hydrated without relying too heavily on electrolyte drinks. Even though Pedialyte is excellent for hydration, you should not replace regular water intake. So don't overuse it. What are signs you might need electrolyte replacement? Not everyone will require this. While on GLP-1 medications, you may experience decreased appetite, leading to lower fluid intake. Consider reaching for Pedialyte if you notice symptoms of dehydration, such as dry mouth, headache, or feeling dizzy, fatigue or muscle cramps during or after exercise, frequent or excessive sweating, and difficulty maintaining hydration after illness like a stomach virus. By integrating Pedialyte sensibly, you can effectively manage hydration, support energy levels, and avoid common dehydration pitfalls that can impact your weight loss journey on GLP-1 medications. We will wrap up with things to avoid while on GLP-1 medications. Skipping meals or eating too little. Why is this a problem? Because skipping meals or drastically cutting calories can slow down your metabolism and lead to muscle loss. It may also increase cravings later, leading to binge eating. Of course, not drinking enough water, but aim to drink at least 8 cups of water per day. If you can get a gallon in a day, great. Do so as long as it's not contraindicated. And then, of course, consume high calorie, low nutrient foods. Choose whole, unprocessed foods that are rich in nutrients, lean protein, whole grains, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds. And then watch your liquid calories. This is important because sugary drinks, fruit juices, and even high calorie smoothies can pack in a lot of calories without filling you up, slowing your weight loss progress. So be careful of this. And then don't ignore nausea or digestive side effects. Some GLP-1 medications can cause nausea, bloating, or digestive discomfort, which might lead you to avoid eating altogether or choose easily digestible, less healthy options. So you want to manage side effects by eating small, frequent meals and avoiding greasy or fatty foods. Again, stick to foods that are gentle on the stomach, like lean protein, cooked vegetables, and low-fat dairy. And this one, I can't stress enough, make sure you get your protein in. Protein is super, super important. And then sometimes overestimating exercise calories burned. This is a problem because it's easy to assume that a workout burns more calories than it actually does, leading to eating back those calories and stalling weight loss. So just because you work out doesn't mean that you can eat more and more food, especially if it's unhealthy. Yes, generally when you work out, you will be hungrier, but make sure you're eating your protein, your healthy carbs, and your good healthy fats. Another tip, you don't want to be too restrictive or eliminate food groups. Cutting out entire food groups like carbs or fats can lead to cravings, nutrient deficiencies, and unsustainable eating habits. Again, you want to make sure you're eating the healthy fats, the healthy carbs, and your lean proteins. And this is where a lot of people mess up. They don't track their progress. So, using an app to count your calories is a really great idea. And then watch those processed diet foods. They may say diet, but a lot of times they are highly processed. So, try to stay away from those. By avoiding these common pitfalls and focusing on balanced, sustainable habits, you can maximize the benefits of GLP-1 medications and set yourself up for long-term weight loss success. I want each of you to finish 2024 with much success, even throughout the holiday season. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I'm Dr. Andrea Walker, family nurse practitioner and owner of Dr. Andrea's Medical and Weight Loss Clinic, as well as Telehealth DNP LLC. Happy Thanksgiving week. Enjoy your holiday. I want you to eat and be happy, but also be healthy. If you get off track, get right back on track. Be kind to yourself, but still don't forget to meal prep, get some workouts in, and remain hydrated. Remember, protein is your friend, so make sure to make that your first choice for the holidays. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great Thanksgiving. Bye for now.